We are now extremely pleased and honored to recognize Lester Holt and present him with the Larry Foster Award and significant recognition from the Page Center. I'd like to spend a few minutes informing our audience about Lester's impressive background and experience. Lester is regarded widely as a seasoned journalist. He serves as the anchor of NBC Nightly News and Dateline NBC. He has established himself as one of the most reputable and trusted news anchors in the business, thanks to his many years of expertise in the field. What is it that distinguishes him as a journalist? Well, he is unequaled in his commitment to finding the truth. To start, his dedication to journalistic honesty is apparent in every story he tells, whether he's covering an important global event or looking into local topics. He is renowned for having the capacity to maintain composure under pressure, which has helped him in many high-profile projects. But Lester stands out for more reasons than just his credentials in his field. He has received numerous accolades and honors for his outstanding work and is a consummate professional in his industry. He's received numerous Edward R. Murrow Awards as well as Emmys, to name a few. For his coverage of important national and international events, Lester Holt has also received the Peabody Award, further establishing his position as one of the best in the industry. Lester, in the course of the Page Center's research and our board consideration of potential journalists to receive the Larry Foster Award, I want you to know we found you to be the ideal candidate. Your viewing audiences have become very wide, large, and loyal because your reporting has become highly trusted due to your decades of expertise, great professionalism, and steadfast commitment to the truth. So we are very pleased to honor your accomplishments and achievements as a journalist and your commitment to integrity in communication with the public. This recognition is called the Larry Foster Award for Integrity in Public Communication. The award is named for Larry Foster, a career-long communicator who was first a journalist and then created and was the chief communications officer for more than 30 years at Johnson & Johnson. Let's hear from a few of Lester's colleagues.
There's no better person to honor when it comes to integrity than Lester Holt. Integrity is, at the heart of it, is really all about honesty and having strong moral principles, and that's exactly who Lester is.
Everything that Lester does is a reflection of his integrity. He is always determined to get it right and always determined to be truthful, tough but fair. That's how I think of Lester.
If there's one thing about Lester, other than his kindness and his brilliance, is that he oozes integrity. It's who he is. He is the most trusted man, as far as I know, in America.
He is a journalist. He is always striving to get it right, to always be truthful and honest. And you see that on display in all of his work, but what you see most is his compassion.
Lester is kind. Lester is so intelligent. Lester is, honest and hardworking, and always wants to kind of get to the bottom of every story.
The reason that Lester elevates all of his reporting is because of his integrity. He's a hero in the world of criminal justice reporting for telling stories of people who never have their voices heard.
Lester is so engaged in the editorial of everything at Nightly News and everything that airs on Nightly News that in really important moments, he reaches out to correspondents like myself to give us editorial guidance. And that just makes all of the difference. He is simply one of the best journalists on earth.
Lester sits right above my shoulder all the time because to me, he is the epitome of trust and integrity. And it's been the honor of my lifetime, the honor of my career, to be able to work so closely with him. It's a gift.
Lester, congratulations for this recognition. Sincerely, it is my honor to present you with the Larry Foster Award for Integrity in Public Communication. We'd like to know your reaction to this, and then, as you know, we have some questions from viewers that we could get into a bit of a conversation with. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, Bill, thank you so much. It was great getting to know you recently when you stopped by the office, and I'm so glad we could do this. I'm so proud. I want to thank everyone at the Page Center for this honor. It means a lot to me, but it means a lot to our industry, because I think it's important that we find these moments to recognize the importance of integrity in the media. As I've always said, free and independent journalism is an important pillar of our democracy. And I do think it's important that we take time sometimes to recognize that. And so I'm so appreciative of receiving this award. I'm appreciative of my colleagues and the wonderful comments they made, Dan Slepian and Kristen Welker and Megan Rafferty. These are people that are part of the team here. We work in such close collaboration every day. Every dotted I, every crossed T is part of our process of getting on the air, a program of integrity that viewers come to know as part of their appointment watching every day. So appreciative of this. I think it's amazing how you were able to actually get this award on the internet and directly to me here in the studio, but it is terrific, and I will cherish it. And I want to, again, thank you so deeply for this wonderful honor.
That's wonderful. We are so pleased and proud to be in a position to acknowledge all that you have done and to honor you with this Larry Foster Award. As you know, there's a lot of people in our viewing audience, when they registered for this program, they had an opportunity to ask a question that might be put to you. There are quite a few questions that came in. We don't have much time to go through all of them, but I'd like to ask you a couple. First, I'd like to remind you that your audience is all public relations people or students who are hoping for careers in public relations and media. Obviously, this is the target of their work, and their work these days, because of all the change going on in society, is very, very important. And the first question is, when you approach news outlets as a PR person, how do you do it? And how do you have a view on how people might approach you? There are probably a lot of people in between them and you, but you would certainly be a target for many of the changed publications.
Well, I think it's really important that we listen to people. I get, people stopping me in airports, on the street. My colleagues, certainly all the time, we're getting pitches from organizations or people who think they may have a story. And that's an important part of our process, because it's not all organic. We want to hear what people are talking about. To professionals who work in that field, I would say to know the outlet, understand what that outlet does, how they do it, what stories might interest them, and to really try to, give targeted suggestions and pitches. But as part of our process, I mean, everything centers really around the integrity of checking out the information, the facts, and trying to understand where it might fit in our broadcast.
Well, speaking of knowing them, given NBC's size and age, I'm sure we'd all be curious to know what the network's mission, vision, and values are and how they are articulated.
We appreciate that it's a legacy broadcast. We're about to hit 75 years of NBC Nightly News. And through that time, it has been, a legacy of integrity, of trust. This is stuff that, of course, I inherited as the current holder of the title of anchor of NBC Nightly News. But we understand that every night when we go in, that we are upholding a tradition that a lot of people cherish. This is in a time of, when people are watching in various digital outlets and cable, we are still a handhold, a bedrock of journalism. And our goal every day is to try to honor that, to not talk down to our audience, but talk to them about stories that, and understand their relevance, and to really communicate in a way that they understand how it impacts them. So, personally, when I sit out there every night and do the broadcast, in the back of my mind, I am with the viewers. I'm thinking about where they are right now. Are they sitting at the kitchen table? Are they on the sofa? I've been there as a viewer. How are they receiving this information? Am I reporting stories that they'll be talking about after the broadcast? Will they be saying, hey, I saw this story on NBC Nightly News last night? All that's going on, believe it or not, when I'm doing the newscast, as to how we are connecting and reaching our audiences.
One more question. Shelley Spector, who with her husband Barry is the founder of the Museum of Public Relations, asked the following. They have done a great deal, a lot, to help support the recognition of Black History Month. And she is asking, how well do you think African Americans are moving up and ahead in the communications industry, especially broadcast journalism?
That is such an important question. I'm proud to work for a network that has really made huge strides in making sure that when people watch us, they see people that may look like them. We, as a company, have made huge commitments to diversity, not only in the faces you see, but the stories that we cover. I've always said, and I think it's happening now, for companies to understand that this is not just a cosmetic thing. This goes to our integrity as a broadcast, that we understand what's happening in this world, in this country, and we do that by having many voices, many experiences. So it's certainly a different environment than when I got into. I started off in radio in the late 70s. It was a big deal to have people of color bringing newscasts or in prominent roles, and now less so. As there are so many opportunities. The world has changed a lot since I got in, and so much for the better.
Very good. Well, let me, on behalf of the Page Center, congratulate you again. We are so very pleased that you recognize the significance of what we're doing with this award, and that you accepted our offer to give you this Larry Foster Award. It's been wonderful to meet you, wonderful to hear from you, and I think you represent, for public relations and communications people, an extremely, very, very high standard for the journalistic business. And I want to congratulate you for that, and thank you for your time tonight.
Well, it means a lot, and again, I'm so deeply appreciative of this honor, not only on my behalf, but of all my colleagues who put this newscast on every night. Thank you.